Good evening and welcome to Church News. I am Adedolakbo Ajayi. First, the headlines. Provincial Coordinator, Directorate of Politics and Governance of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Pastor Jide Ologun, says Nigerian government has all legal instruments to defeat terrorism. World Council of Churches WCC Executive Committee calls on churches across the world to work for peace with every means at their disposal. One person died and 22 others injured after a church outdoor tent collapsed during a service in Virginia, USA. And now the news in full. The Provincial Coordinator of the Directorate of Politics and Governance of the Redeemed Christian Church of God, Province 27, Pastor Jide Ologun, has said that the Nigerian government has all the needed legal instruments to defeat terrorism and make life safer for the people. Pastor Ologun, a legal practitioner, was speaking on our program, The Citizen. Let's watch a part of it.
When we have children of about over 30 still in the bush, and no one is throwing any word of hope, not even from any quarters, our leaders, are they actually ready to rescue these children? And the question is also when.
But let me start by saying that we're beginning to have some responses. After the students were kidnapped and the teachers, the sister of former Minister of Power, Adelabu, and her two children were also kidnapped, and they've been rescued. So the perception of the people is that do we have two intelligence or response templates, one for the high and mighty, one for the citizens. And we are currently in what we call the age of distrust, which means it dampens the loyalty, the patriotism, the trust people have in government to protect the interest of the generality of citizens.
Do you think our leaders, are they really serious to tackle insecurity, actually?
What I know is that Section 5 of the Nigerian Constitution 1999 as amended has granted my President and Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces the executive power. My President has the power. Perhaps some are saying that there are some principalities and powers, spiritual and political wickedness in high places that wants to suppress Nigeria. And I have advised my President, I have not withdrawn that advice. If you allow them to mess up your government, congratulations. My desire for President Bola Ahmed Tinubu is that he will be a celebrated president when he leaves office. That's my desire.
Do you think this can still be achieved?
He can achieve it. It's up to him.
Join Mike Adekunle on the program The Citizen on Tuesday at 1 in the afternoon for the full broadcast of that interview. Now, for church administrators within the Redeemed Christian Church of God, the conversation is shifting. No longer content to operate in the background, a new generation of RCCG administrators is being challenged to move from support to strategy and to see their role not just as professional, but as deeply spiritual. Inyoluwa Adeniyi has the details.
For many church administrators, the role has long been defined by what happens behind the scenes, the logistics, the paperwork, and the quiet coordination that keeps ministry running. But within the Redeemed Christian Church of God, that definition is being deliberately expanded. Administrators are being equipped to think bigger, lead stronger, and serve deeper without losing the values and culture that have always set RCCG apart.
The administrator body in those days are not part of, are not positionally placed strategically, but people have grown up. Then the PICP, person in charge of provinces, the person in charge of region, the continental overseer, can now trust some, strength and confidence in administrators to be able to run some things for the office.
It's also in a way of ensuring that the cultural value of the church is retained and properly managed, that we are looking at how we can reposition ourselves. We want to get results, improvement, and still retain our values and ensure that we do it properly, excellently.
That growth, however, is not just professional. Pastor Kayode Ojo put it plainly, stated that administration is a spiritual service and strategy is long-term.
Church administration is spiritual service. The word church was first mentioned by Jesus. Matthew 16:18, he said, I will build my church. So he is the owner of the church, and he is the one that will build it. And he said, the gates of hell shall not prevail against the church. That tells us that church requires power.
For those on this journey, the shift has been personal. Administrators describe the transformation that goes beyond skill sets and job descriptions.
It's about putting in the best, contesting with the world. You as an administrator cannot continue to do things in a way that you'll be compared with the people of low class.
Being an administrator is a very important role in the church because we help. We need to distribute information, we need to organize, we need to plan, we need to strategize.
For the RCCG, repositioning church administration is not just an organizational agenda. It's a missional one with the aim of raising administrators who know that excellence in their work is ultimately excellence in service to God. Inyoluwa Adeniyi, Church News.
The World Council of Churches, WCC Executive Committee, has called on churches across the world to work for peace and every means at their disposal. The committee made the appeal in a statement entitled From the Proliferation of War to the Way of Just Peace, a renewed ecumenical appeal. Here's the report.
The Ecumenical Fellowship has continued to speak clearly and consistently that war is contrary to God's will, adding that this was reaffirmed by WCC governing bodies across many decades and many contexts, which is also a summon to prophetic witness and courageous action. The statement calls on churches and religious leaders to resist and repudiate the use of misleading and irresponsible theologies to justify war wherever they appear, including within their own traditions. The statement also affirms the WCC's continued accompaniment of member churches in all regions affected by the conflict.
Church News will go on a short break. We'll be right back. Stay with us.
Across Nigeria and around the world, God is moving and His church is on the march. From powerful services to global outreaches, revivals, missions, testimonies, and kingdom impact, we bring you very vital reports from the body of Christ, locally and internationally. Stay connected to what God is doing in His church today. Watch Church News on DOVETV, showing every day at 7 p.m. and 11 p.m. Nigerian time. For sponsorship, contact DOVETV today. Church News on DOVETV. One church, one vision, one global move of God.
Welcome back. Now for foreign news. President of the Catholic Bishops' Conference of England and Wales, Archbishop Richard Moth, has joined fellow presidents of the Bishops' Conference of the G7 states to make a series of calls on leaders who will gather for the 52nd G7 summit in France. The report.
In a joint statement titled Building Bridges for Peace, Justice and Human Dignity, the President of the Episcopal Conferences offers the Catholic Church the capacity for dialogue, mediation, and accompaniment for the most vulnerable at the service of peace and the international community. The appeal made in the statement covers areas such as the need to respect international law, uphold the dignity of the person, lead in the pursuit of peace and reconciliation through dialogue, negotiation, and mutual respect, and to collaborate in the fight against organized crime, human trafficking, illicit trade, corruption, and unlawful financial actions. They also encourage G7 states to promote education that facilitates dialogue and respect for religious and cultural differences. After the recent publication of Pope Leo's first encyclical letter, Magnificat Humanitas, on preserving the human person in the age of artificial intelligence, the Episcopal Conference presidents called for the G7 leaders and technology companies to establish clear international rules so that new technologies serve the human person and the common good, particularly to protect children. The Catholic Bishops' Conferences of Canada, France, Germany, Great Britain, Italy, Japan, and the United States concluded that by turning their attention to migrants and refugees and environmental concerns. They call upon G7 states to commit to bold and verifiable measures to accelerate a just ecological transition, reduce greenhouse gas emissions, and expand renewable energy.
One person has died and 22 others injured after a church outdoor tent collapsed during a service in Virginia, the report.
The tragic accident occurred during an outdoor church service at East Lake Community Church in Moneta on when a large tent collapsed after severe weather struck the area. One person died and 22 others were injured. 11 people were taken to hospitals while other 11 received treatment at the scene for minor injuries. According to officials in Virginia, heavy rain, lightning, and strong winds from a severe storm caused the tent structure to fail. The tent had been inspected by county authorities earlier in the week. Virginia Governor Abigail Spanberger expressed condolences, thanked first responders for their quick action, and pledged support for the church community during the aftermath of the tragedy.
Meanwhile, Pope Leo has been named an honorary member of the Real Madrid Football Club following his visit to the club's stadium, the report.
He toured the Santiago Bernabeu ahead of addressing a packed-out crowd of 80,000 Catholics from the pitch. The club's board of directors have now bestowed the highest distinction on the Pope. Real Madrid Football Club expressed admiration and recognition for a universal figure who represents billions of people and promotes peace, solidarity, and justice in the world. A club statement said the visit was an honor for Real Madrid and will forever remain as one of the most moving moments in history for the club and its teeming fans across the world. The Pope's backing of Real Madrid has not gone down well with all, particularly fans of Barcelona FC. When asked who he supported, Pope Leo said the Pope is for all teams, but Robert Prevost is for Real Madrid. Pope Leo did visit Barcelona and speak Catalan to the delight of many residents.
A Florida pastor, Willie Rice, who has argued that the Southern Baptist Convention, SBC, has drifted in a progressive direction, has been elected president of the nation's largest Protestant denomination. Rice, who is a senior pastor of Calvary Church in Clearwater, Florida, won 57% of the vote at the annual SBC's annual meeting, the report.
Reports say his opponent, Josh Powell, senior pastor of Taylor's First Baptist Church in South Carolina, received 42%. The two candidates shared similar positions on many of the denomination's most contentious issues, including support for a ban on churches with women pastors and skepticism towards claims that the SBC's sexual abuse crisis was as widespread as critics have alleged. During the campaign, Rice argued that SBC leaders had been swept up in what he called a cultural riptide on issues including race, social justice, and politics, leading to decisions that eroded trust among Southern Baptists. Powell struck a more optimistic tone, pointing to the denomination's missionary efforts and church planting work despite years of internal controversy. Rice's victory was welcomed by some conservative SBC activists.
And with that report from the foreign desk, we come to the end of tonight's bulletin. Thanks for